Next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now Howell. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's a first down and then some. A 32-yard pickup.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. Fighting his way through contact. And the Falcons are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. It's Ritter. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 22 yards there, a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Howell. And his throw here's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's Ritter. Robinson's got it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe one block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, or that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
My high school football coach was very fond of saying, you've got to meet force with force. And on a short yardage running play, that's what you're going to encounter. And how about them picking up the first down on that one?
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
From the 5, here's 2nd and 2.
Hey, check mega. Ready.
Robinson gets the toss on the right side. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Ready?
Ritter now. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball down the field as well.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Ridder throwing on 3rd down. He's got his running back out of the backfield. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed, because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number 1, it's easy for him to get lost. And number 2, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Faster.
Robinson with another carry. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 81 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit, because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Ready.
2nd and 9.
Ready.
Going play action. Ridder. This to Pitts, and he's got it. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts from 19 yards away. And the Falcons just continue to roll. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Troy Anderson. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Quan Martin there on the tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a 2nd and 6. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Here comes 3rd down and 7.
Striker. Check striker. Ready.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Koo knocks this one through the post. And that will extend their lead even further. They're ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. First and 10 here for Howell and the Commanders at their 25-yard line. They'll go play action. Howell. Going to be caught downfield by Dotson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Well, the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here. Brandon Smith picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
The passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and they will remain well behind. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. It wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
Robinson up the middle. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Ready.
2nd and 6. Again, it's Robinson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Let's go.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Ready.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Ready.
On the give, here's Robinson. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
On the double.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 6.
Set. Go.
Hand off now to Robinson.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
On the ready. Set. Cut.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 62 yards on the ground for him so far.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Pollard again. Taking it right down Broadway. Inside the 10. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Yeah, they're still trying to execute, trying to get some positives on their board and ledger sheet and keep this from being a total loss. Give them credit. They're going down fighting.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Down. Hut, hut.
And they will take a knee here.
Let's go now. Set.
And they take a knee.
Come on, set.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars.